Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Ndinaija with a planning video. Happy Valentine's Day! So this is a special planning video and I shall be reviewing the Happy Planners Wedding Expansion Pack. It's Valentine's Day by the time you're watching this, so maybe I should have put this on Friday the 13th. Oh, no. Friday the 15th. Nah. Either who. So, probably, or some of you probably got engaged over the Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, random days. Some of you may be getting engaged today. So I decided to present this wedding planner thingamajig to y'all. And yeah, enjoy. Okay, so this wedding expansion pack or wedding edition planner from Me and My Big Ideas is about it's the same size as the classic Happy Planner. Let me bring one of those to show you. So it's the same size as the classic Happy Planner, so it would fit in your regular planner if you have a Happy Planner. It sells for about $15 on the MAMBI site, and I think I got this from either Hobby Lobby. I forget where I got it from, but either who. Let's jump right in. And here is the SKU in case anyone's looking for it. So they have several tabs here, and let's just look straight at the tabs. Our wedding, vendors, inspiration, budget, checklists, wedding party, guests, wedding events, wedding day, and honeymoon. This is a nice gold foiling that's on the side, and the tabs are laminated. On the back of the first cardstock sheet, it has your wedding events at a glance, including the engagement party, bridal shower, bachelorette party, bachelor party, ceremony rehearsal, the dinner, ceremony, and your reception. I think this is nice to have, one place where everything happens, and then you have the details in here. Now this is the vendors tab, and this is a lovely muted light green color with your vendor contact list for the reception venue, ceremony venue, and the caterer, cake baker, florist, and stationer, musicians or DJ, dressmakers, officiant, photographer, videographer, and your wedding planner, if you do have one. You don't have to use all of these, and you could very easily put some washi tape or labels over these to make this a different type of contact list. Now, for the venue, it has contact info and whoever it is that will be your main contact for the venue, and you're looking to see if the dates are available. You could use this and have 3 different venues, and you could compare and contrast with what they're offering. Capacity, will other weddings be happening on this date, other weddings or events? Then you have your rates for different days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, afternoon, or evening. Let me show you that a little closer. And then you have different amounts, overtime charges, cancellation policy, wheelchair accessible, and the amount of time you would have in the space. That is very important because for some of us, we have very long wedding events, and yeah, capacity is often needed for quite a large crowd. Okay, and then they have other questions here, including liquor licensing, their sound system or restrictions, a bridal room where the bride and groom could change or the bridal party could change, photographs, what limitations are there, rearrangements. Great questions, so that you don't need to, well, you will think of a lot of things, but they already have a bunch of questions here for you, and by the time you read through them, you can know whether you want to add more questions of yours or not, and if it does apply at all. Has a pro tip, well, 2 pro tips here. Consider the dominant, did they mean dominant? It says dominate. Ah, well. Whether the colors of the space will complement or clash with your color scheme. That's a very good question. And make sure there's ample parking for your guests. A great question as well. You don't want to be in the wedding or the wedding party where a bunch of people's cars get towed because parking was not considered. So this goes on for, let's see. So this first set of pages, 1, 2, 3, are for the venue. You have another one for the caterer, and these are questions that are pertaining to catering, including whether you make a wedding cake, what are your appetizer options, whether there are any other weddings that caterer has on that date, because that just might affect their timing, and whether they can do a themed menu or a custom menu. And do they charge a corkage fee if you provide your own wine or champagne, as well as a cleanup policy and linens and glassware? These are great questions. Great questions. Providing bartenders. How many servers would you need? How would the servers be dressed? Are tax and gratuity included? You don't want to have paid, who knows, $5,000 for your caterer, and then 2 weeks later when you're on your honeymoon or back from your honeymoon and you hear somebody say, oh, wait a minute, by the way, y'all owe us 8.5% tax, or $1,000 gratuity. You're going to be like, excuse me? No, I do not. You really don't want that. Not just after your special day. More questions, but this time the vendor is the cake baker. And there are questions pertaining to that. Not a lot. Well, it's just cake. Custom styles, family recipe. Are they licensed and insured? How many days before the wedding will the cake be baked? You do not want a stelo keiko. Flavors and fillings, if they could recreate a special cake that you like. Display and all of that. I don't see anything for a groom's cake or another bride's cake. Well, there are questions about having special cakes and also dietary restrictions. Very important. More questions, this time for the florist, if they could work with your budget. Whoever's doing your stationery. This is pretty fancy. This is very fancy. Designing table numbers and printing processes. Interesting. And pro tip, make sure the text is legible and there's enough room on your printed pieces to fit all of the information your guests will need. And maybe get a website. Yep. Invitation timeline process. Musicians and DJ. What else is covered? Pricing, time for setup and tear down, and whether that costs extra. That's very important. Whether they will provide a contract, cancellation policy, and whatever guarantees they will offer. This one is for the photography. Pro tip on tipping, an extra $50 to $200 if your photographer does not have their own studio. Interesting. And rings. Store, size, style for the bride, the groom. You could easily wash those out if they're both brides or both grooms. And then vendor contact info. Oh, this is just a spare. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good set, just in case none of the already provided vendor questions and possibilities work for you. The next tab is the Inspiration tab. You have my whole heart for my whole life. Isn't that sweet? Ooh, and now you have your color palette. I like how they made this neutral so that you could make your color palette whatever you wanted and it wouldn't clash with your wedding planner. That's great. Color combo 1, 2, and 3. You have a main color, an accent color, and another accent color. And then you could maybe print out your Pinterest board here, or create some stickers, put your images down of the things you want to have, and yeah, that would look great. And you could essentially just plan out your wedding. So your inspiration for the decor and reception. A lot of people use Pinterest boards for that, but we're paper people, so we like to see it down on paper. You could draw if you are the drawing type, or you could just, print out on stickers, print out on paper, and stick them in here somewhere. Inspiration on fashion for the bride. I think most brides would have, well, this is, I would say, insufficient, except if you already know what you want. But you could put some pictures of dresses or suits, short dresses, shorts. There's a whole gamut to choose from, and it is great, 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 great. I know some people are like, oh, I want the nice traditional huge white dress. Some people go the complete other route. Oh, I want a black dress. I want a red dress. I want a yellow dress, or I don't want a dress at all. I want pants. I want a pantsuit. I was watching Say Yes to the Dress the other day, and there was this beautiful lady who played with Prince at some time, and her dress turned out to be a custom pantsuit, short suit, jumpsuit type thing. It was great. Very pretty. Aha. Now you have a tab for your budget, which is very important. Ooh, I like this color scheme. Wedding budget breakdown. It gives you a guide as to the percentage, as to how your money should be spent on your wedding, with your reception having 50%, attire 10, music 10, flowers and decor 10, photography 10, favors and gifts, ceremony, stationery, wedding, all of those. Well, favors and gifts are 3%, ceremony is 2%, stationery 2%, rings 2%, transportation 1%. Paying for a wedding can be a big source of stress. Having a budget planned out and agreed upon can help to manage that. Be sure to think through everything you might spend money on. I agree. And then you have all the planning, stationery, and all of that. Pro tip, one way to save money, do your stationery by yourself, especially if you're already a planner person. That would make things a little easier. And your budget, vendor estimate, and the actual for all of these things. I need to speed this up. That's great. Attire, your rings. For me, those are the most important. Your attire, your rings, your photography, and yeah, ceremony and honeymoon. Everything else is Jara, which means extra. And these are your checklists. My favorite part of this wedding planner. So you are to announce engagement. Oh. Checklist for 12 months before to be completed by 9 to 12 months before, and who would complete them. And you have all these ideas, wedding date, your budget, what type of wedding you want, bridesmaids, guest list, research potential venues. You are to hire a wedding planner 9 to 12 months before your wedding. Yeah, I guess so. Especially if you're having a huge wedding. Send out dates and all of that. 6 to 9 months before, you should be choosing your men's attire, booking your vendors, reserve rental equipment, book the day of transportation if you're not driving yourself or going by a horse and carriage somewhere. 3 to 6 months before, you are to select your officiant and discuss the ceremony. Meet with your baker, florist, hair and makeup, bridesmaids attires, draft wedding programs, order rings. Interesting. 2 months before, you are to do a bunch of things. 1 month before, you should be done drafting your seating chart and attending your hair and makeup trial. Also, breaking in your wedding shoes. Muy importante. And then a couple of things to be done 2 weeks before. That's a pretty short list. 1 week before, you have a long list. And the day before, you have that list. And a short list on the day of. Ooh, this is great. And then you have an emergency kit. It just takes what you would have had to think about. Oh, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? And it gives you a whole list and a few extra spaces here for you to write on. And you could also write more things here because there's space. And now your weekly to-do list. So this is the actual planner section of this planner. Monday, Tuesday, all the way to Sunday with notes. And you have a bunch of pages of that. So that's 1, 2, 3, total of 6 pages. And then you have your wedding party. Names, addresses, contact information for your bridesmaids, ushers, parents, parents-in-law, groomsmen, and little people who will be in the wedding. You have their fashion information as well as their measurements for the flower, same for the flower girl and the ring bearer if you have them, and your beauty notes. This is good to keep so that you could use one for, you could, divide the space in two, use one for, like we do in budgeting, estimate and actual, or your trial and then your actual, because you might have 1 to 2 trials before you actually do the hair or the makeup for the ceremony, because you just want to have something different. Also, same for your bridesmaids and the bride in terms of nails. And then you have a list of where to put, of what gifts you want for all the people who will be at your wedding, to tell them thank you so much for helping me out and starting me on this journey of marriage. And we've gotten to the guest list portion of this wedding planner. Together is a beautiful place to be. Nice. And then they have a guide to the invitations with saved dates, programs, menu, escort cards, thank you cards. Very nice. Pro tip, when you're addressing guests, clearly address each invite to exactly who is invited. Write out children's names if they're invited. Address married couples as Mr. and Mrs. Followed by the husband's first and last names. If a woman has kept her maiden name, you should address each full name in alphabetical order. For an unmarried couple living together, you should write the names on 2 lines and use proper titles. Well, I'm not going to say anything about that because I might have a lot of unconventional ideas. And then you have your draft of your guest list. Very nice. And this is in 2 sections here. You could wash it down the middle for some prettiness if you want any, and more space for your guest list. And if you come from a culture where guest lists are not respected, you could just throw this out because it is irrelevant anyway. Your mom's going to say, hey, that person who came to our house twice when you were 4 months old, why wouldn't you want her at your wedding? She is so dear to me. But you have not seen her in 15 years, so Anywho, these pages are for records of your gifts. Very important to help you start on your thank you cards. So that's the master guest list. Sorry I missed it. From gift and whether you have sent a thank you card or not. I would almost venture to split this again in two to say whether you've written the thank you card and whether you've actually posted it, because you might, check it and say, oh yeah, I've written it, or, I've said the thank you or whatnot, but you have not actually posted it. That would be a really huge faux pas. And that's that for the gift record. Now we've come to the wedding events section of the planner, and you have this lovely heart with an arrow in it. So your location for your engagement party, bridal shower, this is nice for memory keeping. It says place photo from event here. Decor, outfit, hosts, invite list. Same thing for the bridal shower. And there's a gift tracker for the bridal shower. A lot of people seem to be torn on this whole having a gift, doing gift giving for the bridal shower. Well, sometimes, because if you give a gift at the bridal shower, will you give a gift at the main wedding? Most people do, so that's neither here nor there. Bachelorette party, date, location, who's planning it, invite list, favorite memory for the night, and pictures. But do remember, if it's written down, you can't dispute it. So, and for your bachelor party and photos from the event for the dudes or for the other party in the wedding. Ceremony rehearsal, rehearsal dinner, and notes and pictures. And then you have a tab for the wedding day, and I love that it comes with this I do. Because you do, or you are about to do. And you have your wedding day timeline, time, activity, participants, and the location. And you have your ceremony order of events, along with time and your song playing. This is great because if you're able to fill this out, this will help you in getting your program together. And you could have somebody hold your planner. No, you won't. Don't do it. That's not what pockets are made for. But the pockets in wedding dresses are made for your phone and whatnot. Okay, so more of the order of events. And your wedding day reminders. Don't forget your marriage license. Do not forget your marriage license. Your meal counter. And then you have tips for the folks that are helping you when you're wedding. Or, yeah, at your wedding. Practice saying your vows out loud. Be sure to wear a casual button-down shirt for hair and makeup. That's a big one because you do not want to wear a t-shirt or a shirt that you would raise and put it over your head and mess up your hair and your makeup. Not funny at all. Don't forget to bring your after-wedding or honeymoon bag. Then they say, let go of the details and enjoy the day. And then you have a worksheet or some pages for the worksheet for seating charts. And a lovely page for your menu. Along with delegation of tasks for the ceremony setup, tear down, reception setup, gift person, rental equipment, reception, tear down. And, oh, the lovely last tab, which is a true love story never ends. And that's the honeymoon. And you have your honeymoon planning here, including location ideas, accommodations, and you have 3 choices where you can compare what's included in the price, the place, availability, and what activities and mode of transportation that they have on site. Then you have your honeymoon budget. And it makes sense to keep most of the money for your honeymoon budget because the most important thing is for you and your partner or your partner and your spouse to spend time in starting this new journey with each other. You also have your packing list. So passports, credit cards, money, contraception, camera, clothes, and a whole bunch more items. And your itinerary. And that's that for the wedding planner from me and my big ideas, which is the happy planner. So, yo, talk to me. Would you use this? Would you consider using this to plan your wedding? if you would, please comment below. If you've already been married and you think this would have helped, leave a comment down below. And if this is your first time of watching, or you are searching for more planner related content, stationery related content and whatnot, please subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I appreciate you watching and hope you enjoy. Bye.